Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Roast.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
This is our reaction and review for The Amazing Race 38, Episode 4. Who's ready to go and get in a giant bath while it is also pouring rain in Hungary?
I feel like that's the only challenge I'd be able to do on this whole episode. Every time we were going through these challenges, I was like, not me, not me. That Rubik's Cube thing, man, I still can't figure that thing out. I used to just peel the stickers off and put them where they were supposed to be and like, look what I did.
You came genie the Rubik's Cube?
That's right.
Okay, see, this was 95% the perfect leg for me. Unfortunately, the big
Oh.
unfortunately I'm about to add in here. Unfortunately, the 5% would get us eliminated because we would need to take a 3-hour penalty or however long it is at the detour. But we will get to that. I think there's a lot about this episode that was pretty well done. I thought
Mhm.
the leg design was good. We can at least give a minor round of applause that there was a pseudo equalizer with the train trips
Yeah,
here.
there was a little bit of that. It didn't feel as big of a divide as
Yeah.
it has been.
So I at least appreciate that, but I think this episode in particular, it gave us a sense of, okay, who's good dealing with pressure, who is clearly not, and then there's just a couple of unfortunate things. Like I really did feel bad for Jag and Jazz over the course of this leg.
So bad. Watching them try to get a taxi and no one would stop for them, that was breaking my heart. That's not okay.
No, it's really not. And I think it's one of those unfortunate realities that all these things do constantly happen around the world. And
They
I
do.
think when you're doing a fun and kind of silly and lighthearted competition like this, you probably just want to think in your head, okay, these real world elements are not going to come into play. And then unfortunately they do, but good on them for being able to be like, you know what? We just have to pivot. We need to figure out another way to go about doing this where we can get in control and not get too devastated by what is really, honestly, a devastating thing that's happening.
Absolutely. I mean, and the unfortunate situation for them as well, and they said on the show, is this is something that they've dealt with their whole lives.
Mhm.
So learning to pivot is something that they have just had to learn how to do. And it shouldn't be a thing that they should learn how to do, but they have, and they were able to still secure themselves a spot in the race.
Yeah, and I think they've had a really dominant run
They
this
have.
season. And in a way, this is their lowest position. And yet I come out of this feeling really positive about them. I think it's just because there was less alliance stuff in this episode. They had more adversity they had to face in the moment. And they found a way to kind of keep a level head, don't freak out, and just get through it.
Yeah, and one of the moments that I really, really loved was with Tucker and Eric.
Oh, Tucker and Eric.
I really, really loved that Jazz and Jag were kind of like, hey, who do we give this to? And they were like, peace, no one. I was just like,
Finally.
finally.
We need competitive racers, and we're getting closer to the finish line. I know we're
Yes.
still a ways down the road here, but we have so much more to say about
Mhm.
Tucker, Eric, this entire leg in Budapest. But before we go further into any of it, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are here talking about the amazing race with you
Mhm.
guys every single week. We have a really good time doing it. Also, tonight, we reviewed the latest episode of Survivor
Yep.
49, which was the best episode of that show so far this whole season.
Absolutely. And also, it's Matt's birthday. Just a couple days ago, we had a really
Yes.
big celebration this weekend. We have a bunch of pictures up on our Instagram, which is Matt and Just TV. So if you want to head over there and follow us there, we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for your support.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it over there. Okay, first and foremost, let's just talk through the equalizer, which was really two different trains, but they were only like an hour apart. But this is a very good question, for you, for everyone in the comments.
Mhm.
What would you rather have? A train that gets there a little bit earlier but has like 2 million stops?
No.
Yeah, or the train that just lets you sleep the entire time?
Sleeper train. I think sleep is so important in anything, but especially something like this when you're traveling. You're in a place you're not familiar with, you're out of your own routine, time differences, like having sleep, that's the key.
Yeah, I think if it's a crappy thing to say in a way because it's hard to really know what the design of a leg is going to be in advance. But now that I know what this leg was, I am on team sleep here. I can understand being in the moment like, okay, we got to get there really, really fast. But these challenges this like required a lot of like attention to detail and focus and concentration. And for me personally, if I don't get enough sleep, like my
Mhm.
hands start shaking really bad. The idea of being able to juggle or dance with the bottle like that's just not happening at that point.
Yeah, no way. I like to sleep, so I'll take the sleeper train. I don't want to get off at a bunch of stops. No, thank
No,
you.
I would take the sleeper train in this
Yeah.
situation. Even if it's a disadvantage at first, it's like you can find a way to make this into a positive on the other side,
Hmm.
especially in a leg like this where it felt like there were a couple ways people could get tripped up. There's
Yep.
the directions, there's the individual challenges. Like you can make up for some lost time, and we did see that happen here and there.
Yeah, including this first find the king at the baths, where, there's a bunch of people playing chess, and you get this king and no further instructions on it. So it was very cool to see Tucker and Eric kind of realize that you have to turn it, open it, and there's something inside of it. And they just told them when and they left. I loved seeing Jag and Jazz be like, hey guys, so what do we do with this? Not my problem. I was just like, that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, where's the competitive
Yes.
spirit on this season? It's been so much about Big Brother alliances, which I totally understand. We are Big
Yeah,
Brother people.
of
We know
course.
it. Alliances play a huge role on that show, and they do here too. However, it's been just so dominant that it's nice to see a dominant team like Tucker and Eric be like, we're not helping you. We're here to win this.
Yeah, and it all lines up with the Tucker we all know and love, where he was so crazily competitive on his season of Big Brother that he was willingly throwing himself into competitions. Like, that is the Tucker we know.
I will say though that them ending up in first, I was really excited for them. And then Phil's like, you win this bicycle ride on the most dangerous mountain in the
That's right.
world. I was just like, oh no, peace. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
What a horrible, horrible holiday.
Can you opt out of parts of the Expedia experience? Like, what sort of product placement is this, by the way? Oh, you're going to go to this country and you're going to go on this.
And do this super dangerous thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
like, no thanks.
Tucker's probably going to do it because Tucker's out of his
course.
mind. But for us sensible people, but no, I love Tucker and Eric in that. I will also say though about this hot tub challenge, that's what this really is. Leave me there. I love a good bath. I am a very passionate bather in this. Sometimes you just gotta relax and just get a good soaking in on here. Now, do I want to do this with 200 other people in the rain? That's probably a different question.
This is the only challenge of this whole leg that I would have been able to do. I can get into the hot water and be given a chess piece.
Yeah, now would I be able to figure out if I need to unroll it? That's where that sleep comes in. If I was not at the
Yes.
sleeper car, I probably would not have figured this out.
Yeah, I feel like I would have figured this out because there's no other information in that clue except to get that king, so the clue has to have something to do with the king.
All right, so we get this fast forward clue, and Tucker and Eric decide, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Like
Mhm.
fast forwards for you longtime fans, they were a lot more common back in the day. They're not that common anymore. So they get this. They have to go and both complete a Rubik's Cube within a really, really tiny amount of time.
Yeah, 7 minutes. I mean, that's very, very. I wouldn't have been able to complete it. Like I said, I have tried to complete a Rubik's Cube a million times in my life. I've never been able to do it. I have even watched videos or tried to figure it out with, like, instruction manuals, whatever. I just can't figure it out.
Okay, see, here's the thing. I've done it before, but you're also I'm talking here. This is okay, this isn't really
You
that.
can do it. Oh, I guess we can't do it because I
Well,
would have
here's
to
the
do
thing.
it.
This is not even that great of a brag because I did it maybe 20 years ago. Like, if you told me that I need to recreate it now, I don't remember what I did 20 years ago. I barely remember what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Put me in this challenge. I like to think that maybe I could figure it out, but I think really what would have actually happened to me is I've just seen past fast forwards on this race where the things they make you do to get them are really crazy, like shave your head or get a
No, thank
tattoo,
you. Oh
or
my
it's just
God.
no, it's just like, once I saw that it was a fast forward, I probably wouldn't have even bothered to read it. I would have just thought, okay, whatever they're gonna make me do is absolutely insane. I'm at the front of the pack here. Let's just continue on with the race.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been the better way to go because I never would have been able to complete it, so we would have lost.
Yeah, and I don't know if I could with those sort of time restrictions. Like, I'm not great under that pressure. Like, good on Tucker and Eric for finishing first and
Yep.
actually giving us some real variety where we have a new winner who was not handed the first place by another team.
Enjoy your bike ride on the most dangerous road in the world.
Okay, so we go from the hot bath at this point
Yeah.
over to our roadblock. And this is one you have to be a coach. And coach, actually, it's not coach a bunch of people, it's not be coach from Survivor. It is being in this horse coach, and you got to navigate them around this course.
Okay, here's the thing. I love animals, but I am fearful of horses. I think that they're, just very majestic, powerful animals. And I feel like I would be bad at this as well. I just feel like I wouldn't have the confidence to be able to move around such a powerful animal. I'm too soft for it.
It's okay. I've got this. I've got this roadblock.
Yeah, let's go, Matt.
All right, here's the thing. I grew up somewhat around horses. Like my grandmother had a few horses. I didn't ride them all that much, but I did here or there, and I've ridden horses a number of times in my life. I would have, and this may be a failing of me, but does anyone else out there remember the Microsoft Flight Simulator games that were on I would have approached this like it was one of those, and I would have just thought, okay, just concentrate, be one with the horse, understand that they don't really want to be doing this either, so let's just get the job done as fast as we possibly can.
I mean, I will say that at least it seems like they had really good trainers there to really help people do this course. There was really no one that was there like, it's attempt 27 with this, and this poor horses are going around 27 times or whatever. And there was the guy in the back who was basically like driver's ed that had the second like stop pedal and second steering wheel just in case you weren't able to do it and they got out of hand. So everything was very safe.
Yeah, that's the real thing with these animal challenges. I never want it to be terrible on the animal. The only thing I was worried about was once Izzy got there, and Izzy did this whole spiel about how it was her dream in life to ride on horses on The Amazing Race. I thought, it was like, oh no, the edit is setting her up. She's going to have to do this 27 times. Like, I really thought we were going in that direction.
Yeah, and they did try to do that where they got her going over like one sign, and I was like, okay, haha, we got the haha, but she was fine.
Yeah, she was fine. Nobody really had that many issues with it.
No.
Like, this to me is probably the least effective part of this episode, where it just felt like, okay, you want to get the animal component on here. I get it. You get a couple of fun moments. But really, the meat of everything here is this detour. I mean, first and foremost, Harry Houdini. I love magic. And
I love magic.
yes, like,
so fun.
when I was a kid, I wanted to be a magician, and I would go to some of these magic shows, and I would want to kind of figure out how to do them. The problem is I have no sleight of hand. I think that's kind of important for being a magician.
Absolutely, but Harry Houdini, I mean, iconic. To be able to go there, I know that it's just, you're opening a chest and having this secret slide out the bottom or whatever, but it's such a cool thing to actually be in the house, the Harry Houdini house. This is very cool. House of Houdini.
This is my biggest beef with this episode. I'm really disappointed that there wasn't an actual Detour challenge that was about magic, where
I agree.
You have to perfect one of these two illusions used by either Houdini or some, and maybe it's because they're too hard, maybe it's something like that. Instead, we kind of go in this other entertainer route where you can either juggle in front of a clown that is mocking you the entire time, or you can go and dance with a bottle on your head.
How ridiculous was it, though, that Joseph and Adam's key broke in the lock?
That would have been me. That would have been totally I
was like, oh my goodness.
I felt bad for them on multiple occasions through this episode too.
I felt really bad for them because then it's like, in comes Taylor and Kylan. Do. We got our clue. See you later. It's like, oh, I'd be so mad.
Adam was the vintage brother throughout this entire. He's just like giving Joseph lip through. It's like, oh, Joseph, it's Taylor. You remember when you used that Joseph? Like, yeah, I think I remember about what my relationship with Taylor is. Thank you very much.
I love their relationship. It really is like the quintessential brother needling.
Yeah, that's something I always like about the sibling bonds that are on this show. But Joseph and Adam, they end up being more than fine in this, but they do have a lot of just little problems along the way.
Absolutely. I mean, they decided to do the juggling act, and you're getting into the juggling and the balancing act. I've seen the dancing stuff on this show, and man, it's always way harder than whatever the other thing is. So I feel like the minute I see dancing, I'm like, I'm out. I'm not doing that.
Okay, here is where we would just see the detour.
And we would have to do the dancing because I know that the juggling is not going to be something that you're going to be able to do.
Here's what's actually going to happen. We're going to look at the detour, then we're going to say, I'm going to take the penalty, and then we're just going to leave, and we're just going to run to the pit stop because, okay, juggling. Jess has seen me try to juggle in real life before.
I have.
It did not go well.
It did not.
Let's just put it, I can do almost two things, and it felt like they were way more than two things going on here. And
Yes.
they were big. No, the juggling completely out of here. And here's the thing with the dancing. I'm an okay dancer. I'm not a great dancer, but I'm a former drum major. I was in marching band. I have good musicality. I have good rhythm.
And I think you would have been okay in that.
Here's the problem. That stupid bottle. Dude, I have an egghead. Look at this head. Look at the shape of this head.
I would have had to do the bottle part of it. And I'm extremely clumsy. Like everywhere I go, I fall. Everything I touch breaks. I have fallen up the stairs. Like it's not great. Like dancing for me, and then I have the bottle. It would just all be bad.
Yeah, this is...
Give me that stick. I'm going to trip over it. I'm going to trip Matt over with it. We're taking the penalty.
I was just hoping when they brought out the stick that this was just going to be some elaborate dance involving the stick and there was going to be no bottle in here whatsoever. Like that would have been a little bit more effective. But yeah, this is just, if you have no rhythm, if you have no sense of timing, this is really not the detour for you at all.
No.
But we end up in the situation as this episode is going along where it's just becoming more and more evident that even with an equalizer, like even on getting in level playing field with some of these other teams, like Kat and Alex, they are just not made for the Amazing Race.
No, they weren't, and they were eliminated, and it was sad to see them go because, I mean, I have enjoyed watching them this season.
Yeah, I
really like Kat.
Yeah, Kat's really, really entertaining. She was all the way back on her season of Big Brother. Alex is a good partner for her. It just feels like the two things you got to be able to do if you're on this show is understand where you're going and not get lost on a regular occurrence. And that happened to them time and time again. And
then, the show was conspiring against her.
Okay. It might have actually been. I think these challenges were conspiring against her.
I agree.
That's the other, you got to be able to figure out how to finish the tasks reasonably quickly here. Yeah, I just feel like this was entertaining. At least there was a little bit of drama towards the end. Like I did still feel like Chelsea and her dad weren't going to be eliminated. They tried to make it seem that way with the edit, but I never really believed it.
And I'm so glad they weren't. I really like Chelsea and her dad. I mean, Jack, I just love him. He feels like he is just the dad of everybody's dad. You know what I mean? He's just the dad.
Well, we'll see exactly where the rest of this Amazing Race takes us, but let's hear from you guys. What did you think about this episode, the various challenges? Are you happy that Tucker and Eric are in first place? Let us know. And also hit that subscribe button and you can support us further by joining our Patreon. We have a link in the description. And over there, we are covering exclusively in video form Slow Horses, a show we really, really love. We've had a great time with that this season. And thank you so much to everyone who is supporting us there. And we will see you here next time.